Hello. In this podcast, Dan Matthews, the Senior Vice President of PETA, was discussing and answering questions regarding PETA. PETA is one of the largest animal rights movement in the nation, and he joined it in 1985 when it first started with only 10 members. Dan had a history degree, so he studied different social movements, and then his final year of college he joined an animal rights group on campus. Dan started the fur campaign, which was Go Naked Instead of Wear Fur, and this was featured on the Golden Girls for them to promote not wearing fur coats. He also talks about how his role in PETA is to bring facts to people, for them to see what it's like for animals that are in the circus, laboratories, or slaughterhouses through undercover investigations. Dan says you can't rewrite history, but you can leave bad habits behind and look into the future. He also discusses how since PETA is a charity, they don't have the ad budget or power like other organizations do, so they use aggressive marketing tactics instead to get people's attention. He also discusses a few sad cases, one where cows have been too weak to even walk to the slaughter room or they have been skinned alive. The podcast also talks about other cases regarding elephants, where they had to hire experts to go around and inspect the elephants and where they were being held to make sure that it was humane. The first thing I learned from this podcast was that in order for a social movement to be successful, you have to be persistent. When PETA tried to change China's regulations, they first didn't want anything to do with PETA. Then they went and gathered all the scientists and companies together, formed a board, and presented the facts in front of China. They ended up happy with their findings. Chinese officials thought that what PETA was saying made total sense, and within 5 years, they say that there won't be product testing in China at all. The second thing I learned was with social movements how important it is to stick with your beliefs and then get others and large companies on board with them as well. PETA has become a cultural force in our generation today and has made a huge impact on society. PETA has convinced so many makeup companies to stop testing on animals, including large name brands such as Estee Lauder and Revlon. They also got McDonald's to stop buying meat from the slaughterhouse, not to mention that they got Calvin Klein to put in writing that him and his business are out of the fur trade. A lot of the time with social movements, if one person or company does something, especially someone or something with a lot of power and influence, others will eventually follow.